Well, good Monday evening. We, of course, have had some active weather over the past 24 hours. A front coming through early this morning with some severe weather in Mississippi. They actually did the surveys pretty quickly this time, and they confirmed 3 tornado touchdowns in Mississippi from this morning. 2 of those were in Lowndes County, an EF0 and EF1, but there was an EF2 really on the verge of being an EF3 tornado that was on the ground for about 7 miles in Marion and Lamar counties earlier this morning before about 7 a.m. Those storms were caused by this front to the east of us, which is still producing some rain on the east coast, but obviously we're done with it. Skies are clearing. We've had a north wind today, and it was cooler behind the front. The high in Jackson was 75, and tonight is going to be our coolest night of the week with lows in the upper 40s to low 50s. So here's a look at those damage reports over the past 24 hours. And again, really not a lot in our area, thankfully. A couple of wind damage reports around the metro, some hail in northeast Mississippi, but of course, there was a bad storm down around Marion and Lamar counties. We had 20 to 25 structures that were damaged, lots of tree damage here. Maximum sustained winds of 135 miles per hour. Again, if it had been any stronger, it would have been an EF3 tornado. So, no injuries, no fatalities, thankfully, with that storm, but there's going to be a lot of cleanup to do down in the Pine Belt again. Tonight, behind the front, we're going to see a light north wind, partly cloudy skies, upper 40s to low 50s. But then tomorrow, a big turnaround in the temperature. The temperature is going to warm up about 30 degrees or even more in some cases. And that's because we're going to see full sunshine all day. The air is going to be relatively dry, and our winds by the afternoon will begin to shift to the south. So Election Day is tomorrow, and the weather is actually going to be pretty perfect for Election Day on the first day of April. A little cool in the morning, but a few hours after the polls open, temperatures are going to warm up nicely. We'll be in the 60s mid-morning, low 70s by lunchtime, low 80s later in the afternoon, and by the time the sun goes down, we're still going to be comfortably in the mid-70s. So no worries on Election Day weather-wise. So good day coming for tomorrow. I do want you to notice those winds kind of turning around back to the south, so it'll be warm by the afternoon, but then we get to Wednesday, and the winds are going to increase from the south. That's going to bring up the humidity. Temperature's going to go up too. So hot and humid, really feeling like summer weather with lows in the 70s, and your highs are going to be pushing 90 degrees starting Wednesday. Now, notice there's a front up to the north of us, but that's not going to cool us down. The front is going to stall out to the north of us, keeping the best chance of storms to the north of Jackson through midweek. So here's a look at tomorrow. Great for Election Day. We get to Wednesday. Notice southerly breezes increases. We got storms in the Delta. Then they begin to retreat back to the north into the Memphis area, West Tennessee, the mid-Mississippi River Valley. So this is about as far south as the worst of the storms is going to get. Notice there is a level 3 out of 5 risk of severe weather for a huge swath of the country. Now, this is Wednesday going into Thursday. It's going to be from Chicago, Detroit, all the way down through Memphis and all the way back over to Shreveport. It does include the Mississippi Delta, but the threat of severe weather rapidly diminishes the farther south you go. In fact, there's really no risk of severe weather south of Jackson. Northwest of the capital city, there could be a couple of random storms that, may make it up to severe limits. So we're just going to call for about a 20% chance of rain south of that front for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Otherwise, it's going to be partly sunny, hot, and humid. Best chances of rain farther to the north in the Delta where the storms could actually be severe. Now, things change over the weekend. There's going to be a push of cooler air that's going to change that stationary front back into a cold front that's going to come through, I'm thinking Saturday night into Sunday with a squall line of thunderstorms. That is likely going to be severe. We'll keep you posted on that. It's pretty far away at this point, but there's a pretty good bet that we're going to see another squall line coming through yet again over the weekend. This is going to be the 4th weekend in a row we've had a threat for severe weather. Now, before we get to the weekend, before the cold front arrives, look at how warm it's going to be. At least upper 80s. Now, the record high for Jackson for Wednesday and Thursday, that's April the 2nd and 3rd, is 90 degrees. We're going to be at about 88, 89, so flirting with a record those days. Now, the record high for Friday, April the 4th, is 87 degrees, and I'm forecasting 88, so it looks likely that we're going to break a record high that day. For Saturday, temperatures do start to come down just a little bit, but it really just depends on how much sun we see Saturday. Remember, Saturday is the day that's going to be kind of our transition day. That's the day we're going to heat up, and then that front comes in late Saturday. It just depends on when the front actually arrives. So again, we'll keep you posted on the timing. So for this night, this is going to be our coolest night this week, partly cloudy, a light northeast wind, 52 in the morning. And then tomorrow, notice our winds do shift to the south. It's going to be mostly sunny. Temperatures climb 30 degrees during the day. That'll put us at 82 tomorrow afternoon. Then Wednesday through Friday, it feels like summer. Low 70s in the morning, close to 90 in the afternoon. The humidity is going to be up. We'll see a 20% chance of a stray shower with storms in the Delta. Now, over the weekend, the front comes in, chance of rain goes up. Saturday night into Sunday, I'm thinking we'll need to be weather aware mostly Sunday, but that could change. If it speeds up, it could shift to Saturday. So, again, we'll keep you posted. But just like this week, we cool down behind our front, we're going to do the same thing for next Monday. We're going to cool down again, low 50s in the morning, close to 70 in the afternoon, but it will be mostly sunny to start next week. So our active spring weather pattern continues. Again, this is 4 weekends in a row. We've seen the threat for severe weather. We don't see our pattern changing, unfortunately, anytime soon. I will tell you that usually our severe weather season starts to wind down right around mid-May, around Mother's Day. So if you think about it, tomorrow is the first day of April. So that gives us, I'm thinking, about 6 more weeks that we should have active severe weather if you look at the averages. After that, we're going to start to heat up. We'll be back in the summertime weather pattern. It's just going to be hot and humid all the time, and we should see some pretty quiet weather for the end of May and through the month of June, but we will see. All right, your next weather update is going to be coming up tomorrow morning with meteorologist Gracie Morris. Take care.